This podcast, including all discussions and examples, is for informational purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. The views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any government agency or company. Today, we're sitting down with John Oyler and Mike Rogers from Viasat to explore the technology powering the future of military comms and how a culture of service drives their innovation. This is From the Dive Shop.
Welcome to From the Dive Shop. I am Jen Weir-Edwards, and I'm excited today to introduce to you some of our friends from Viasat. Here with me today are John Oyler, Solutions Architect, and Mike Rogers, Director of Advanced Network Products. Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, thanks
Very
for having
excited
us.
to have you. So let's just dive right into Viasat. We've been talking a little bit about you guys' background and some of the things you're doing now, and what we're working with you on is all really cutting edge. But I have this vague notion of remembering Viasat from when I was much younger. So what am I remembering, if anything at all? And just take me up a little bit through what Viasat is today.
Yeah, I can start off with that, Jen.
Sure.
So Viasat started off back in the 1980s and started off as a small, almost garage shop company and is growing into over today, we're about over 7,500 people.
Wow.
So grown quite a bit over the years.
And what is the thing that I remembered from the 80s when I was very, very young?
So a good possibility that was or is our rural residential broadband service.
Wow.
So many people might know like HughesNet. We're right there with the rural service. Viasat and their rural internet service, their broadband service. Other competitors in that market are HughesNet, Starlink, which is
Okay.
real big nowadays.
Sure.
But we started off as a modem company and kind of evolved from that into a multifaceted technology company at this point.
And if you're old enough to remember the sound of a dial-up modem, you're my people. So talk a little bit about the genesis and what Viasat means today.
So Viasat today is all about innovation. So we're always trying to provide a technologically advanced and also valuable service and product to our customers.
Okay.
So with most of our customer base being government, military, stuff of that nature, that means supporting the warfighter in their mission and their operations.
Awesome. So talk to me just a little bit, Mike, I'll throw this one to you. Viasat broadly, encrypted communications, communication at the edge, those are the things that we hear about now that seem like they're really, really important. What's Viasat's biggest mission right now? What do you think is the most important thing that you guys are bringing to the table?
Yeah, so I would say it's twofold. So if I had to sum it up in just a few words, it's to connect the world.
Oh, I love that.
So in a few words, I would sum it up there. And then our overall Viasat business breaks down into two different segments. One that's focused on the commercial area, and then our defense and advanced technology segment.
Okay.
And then inside of that segment, we have multiple businesses. And really the nice and interesting part now that's very, exciting, I guess, is there were a lot of different verticals at Viasat, and they were kind of a bit isolated and spread apart. And we're at this inflection point where we're starting to see all of those verticals go from vertical and start to come together so that we're truly enabling an edge to enterprise connectivity across the whole entire spectrum, protected across our satellites from the tactical user at the edge all the way back to wherever they need to get that data and information to make the right decisions back to the decision makers. So that could be from some place across the world back to the U.S. It could be anywhere across the globe, the middle of the ocean, the Pacific Island chain, Europe, anywhere you possibly think. And we're able to take all of the technologies we're using, the products, the services, and combine it into a truly unique offering and solution for our customers. And Viasat is such an interesting place. And I shared earlier that the culture there is incredible. The people are incredible. But really what's so incredible about Viasat is we care about the warfighter so much. And that's true to all of our hearts. There are a ton of veterans at the company. I would say probably about 15% of our company are veterans. And for the 85% that are not, they care so much about veterans, about the warfighter, and really enabling our military and our allies to find a way to win and to help preserve life as much as possible. So it's a wonderful place to be, and continuing to find a way to serve after serving in the military has been one of the true highlights of my life.
That's awesome to hear. And I think it's one of the reasons why ADS and Viasat are working so well together is I think we're culturally aligned in that regard.
Absolutely.
That matters to us. Taking care of the warfighter is what matters to us above everything else. And we're going to align ourselves with partners who want to do that and who that's their mission.
And that's important for us to align ourselves as well with people who share the same values and culture.
So what do you want so our listeners are a combination of, normal people, but it's predominantly a defense environment. A lot of our staff are very engaged in this. A lot of our other suppliers are engaged in it. If you could just get a little bit of a message across to the people that are really interested in listening to this, what's the thing you think they need to know most?
Yeah, I would say for the main thing is we talked about kind of culture and our alignment, and we care about the warfighter very much. That's at the forefront of just about everything we do. We want to provide technology and solutions to solve their problem. And the message is, if there's a problem out there, Viasat will work diligently to solve it and put the warfighter in the best position possible.
Awesome. I'm actually always interested in this just across the board, regardless of what your background is. I feel like I've got a little bit of that from you, but I'm still going to ask the question, but I want to start with you.
Okay.
What's your why? What is your why for this industry, for what gets you up and gets you excited about your job? What gets you out of bed in the morning?
So it's kind of a combination of things. I'd say the strongest driving factor has been just from an early age, I've had a very inquisitive mind. So I've always tinkered with things, since I was, talk to my mom. She'll tell you all about it. I was salvaging computers back in the 90s and trying to piece them back together and stuff like that. So it's that finding out how things work, repairing them, getting them up and running again, see what will make them better, how to improve it. I really like seeing how technology evolves and, having my hands in that evolution as well.
Do you have home projects where you take things apart and don't put them back together?
I try to put them back together. I don't always succeed, but the attempt is there.
Excellent.
So,
that's cool. Keep going, please.
Oh, so I was going to say, so from the love of technology aspect, that's one part of it. But the other part is, as I stated before, coming from a military background and, serving as well, I know the kind of hurdles and struggles that there is, being out there in the field. So being able to work with them and, try and make their job easier, their lives better, and, make them more efficient and effective so that hopefully they survive and can conduct the mission better. It's great to be part of that as well.
Awesome. All right, Mike, your turn.
I'm just going to bring it back to one word, and we talked about it earlier. It's service. And service was always important to me. It was important to my family. That's the way I was raised. So when I left the military and retired, I almost felt like I was afraid I was going to have a big hole to fill. And when I got to Viasat and I was still able to serve in a different way, and I may have taken off the uniform and put on some different clothes, and I do have a button-down shirt and slacks on today, but Viasat likes to wear shorts and flip-flops.
So do we.
Yeah. And
I dressed up for you. You're welcome.
Thank you. When
you don't know, I might have shorts and flip-flops on. You guys don't know.
Yeah, you can't really tell. That's like the people that stand up on Zoom and
right, and you're
they
like,
forgot.
Pants,
oh
pants.
yeah. Oops, that was a mistake. But it's been really great to be a part of that and find a way to continue to serve, and that's what keeps me going every day. And I know that my team and I feel that we all get to make a difference, and that's what matters. That's
cool. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about some products. I know you already talked a little bit about the Mojo, but I'd love to get a little deeper on that. First of all, what is I know I looked at it before we came here, but I can't remember what Mojo stands for. So can you lay that out and talk a little about that?
It's our move on, jump off gateway.
That's as cool as Mojo, to be honest.
Yeah, and so the premise behind it is it was a system that you can quickly and easily set up to start getting situational awareness. And it was able to be implemented, like I said, extremely quickly. Our initial system was developed fast and got out in the field, and then our next generation system, our Mojo Next and Mojo Mini Next, are products that have reduced in size by about 66%.
Oh, wow.
We've reduced the number of kit and boxes that go along with that. So our original Mojo was about 8 boxes and 550 pounds worth of gear. And our Mojo Next is now down to probably about 4 boxes and somewhere about 350 pounds worth of gear.
So is this something that's squad carried, or does it go on a vehicle? How is that best deployed?
So that's the great thing about the Mojo is it could be deployed on a vehicle. It could be deployed on an aircraft. It could also be deployed in some sort of operations center. So it really has a lot of different uses and can be deployed in a lot of different ways.
Wow, that's really exciting.
So a real versatile product, and it's been real fun to learn about it. And then for the rest of my portfolio, there's quite a few other products that we have in there that are pretty exciting. So we have our free space optics terminals, which are point-to-point laser communications.
Oh, cool.
And so think about one of the main things that we're concerned about today are the detection of RF energy. So, and we've seen in Ukraine, well, if you transmit, you could be targeted by drones, you could be targeted by a lot of different things. What the free space optics terminals allow you to do is transmit data up to 70 kilometers in distance, and it's low probability of intercept, low probability of detect, and you could transmit data at 10 gigabits per second one way or 20 gigabits per second both ways.
Wow.
So pretty impressive there. We also have a product that's called Net Agility, which really works hand in hand with our other products, and that's a software that essentially allows somebody with a radio or multiple radios to find the best transport that the radio would be able to use. So for example, there could be somebody on the tactical edge that has a MANET waveform radio, such as a Silvus or Trellisware radio, and back at the operations center, 100 miles away, there may be a beyond line of sight waveform. What Net Agility does is it looks at point A, it looks at point B, it says I'm trying to send data between these 2 points, and it looks at all the different available avenues and finds the best one to be able to send that data across. So somebody at the tactical edge with a radio that couldn't even talk to any of the other radios that are somewhere else that are different is now able to communicate with that and share that data across that space and use other transports available that they don't have access to normally.
Wow.
Which it's game changing.
Do you have any products in particular that you want to add to that, or do you feel like that covers the things that you think are important right now?
So, I definitely think the free space optics and the Net Agility are big movers coming down the pipe. Going to have a big impact, especially when talking about the Net Agility and its way of balancing between the different links. So it's not just radio. You can have 5G antennas for cellular. You can have a free space optics terminal hooked up into it if you so wanted, and then different types of SATCOMs, LEO, MEO, GEO, and it balances each of them out to ensure that you've got your entire PACE plan in one product. But to tie into that, it's also important to look at the encryption side of it. So we've got, from those real edge environments, our 250XS, which is the size of the palm of your hand, which is really popular for like executive comm kits, really small where swap matters, size, weight, power, all the way up to our 100 gigabit, like Gov Cloud enterprise level solutions, which is our KG142. So, you've got all these different avenues that as we spoke to before, connect the very edge, bottom warfighter at the squad level, all the way back to your, headquarters level or your analysts or whatever else, taking a holistic view at the battlefield from a communication standpoint.
Really cool. And I assume everything that you guys deliver comes with training and so forth, or are the services already training on these things? Is this something that's now just standard operating procedure to know how to use all of this technology?
Yes and no. So from an SNS, encryption standpoint, we do offer free training. Mm-hmm. If you purchase our products, you get 2 seats at our training in Lithicum, Maryland. We've got one of our product support labs over there that offers either EDE, which is the layer 2, or HAPI training layer 3 for free of cost, 2 seats. We also offer some on-site training. We get 4 slots per year. Mm-hmm. We can come out as long as you have the devices and do training there for you. And then we also offer some paid training. So, and I believe we have some similar offerings for the advanced networking as well, for paid training and then some orientation with purchases as well.
So for the folks that are listening, is there anything that you think we need to share about Viasat that we maybe haven't hit on, that I've missed, that you think we'd love to share with the folks that are listening to the podcast? Did we get it all? Is this the perfect podcast?
I think this is pretty close to the perfect
I'd say it's
podcast.
close. I think,
you got something for me. Go ahead.
I got something. I got a curveball for you. Or not really a curveball, but hammer something home, I guess. I think that Viasat isn't really a household name, but
Unless you had dial-up in the 1980s, and then clearly,
well, I mean, it was SATCOM, so not quite dial-up, but same. But when you actually start looking into these government networks and being able to connect everything together, which in today's society and world, everything there's a need to be connected.
Sure.
I think that we offer some of the most robust product lines for those, at least from my opinion. Maybe I'm a little biased, but from working at a couple,
you're allowed. It's your show.
Yeah, from working with a couple different companies, I think that because we listen to the customer's needs, the requirements during our development stage, we tailor them to what the customer requires. We have some of the most complete product lines as far as usability and customer-centric features. So it's really good to see the beginning to the end, not only the development process, but also the transit of that data and the communications.
Got anything to add? Did he nail it?
Yeah, I think he did. He did a pretty good job.
Way to stick the landing.
Yep.
So it's been great talking to you guys. Viasat, it just seems like offers such a broad array of communication options and solutions for the warfighter. And I, for one, am really excited to get to work with you in my day job, which isn't this. So I'm looking forward to my team getting to know more and us getting the good word out. And really appreciate you guys coming today to talk to us. And I think that it's just been a pleasure. So thank you so much for your partnership and for your time today. And if you don't have anything else,
Thanks for having us.
all right. Thank you for joining us on From the Dive Shop.